The final preparations.
However you want it. It don't matter.
We're good, we're rolling, it's recording.
All right, cool. What's happening?
October Red, I'm here with Joshua Buatsi. We're in the final stages, getting ready for what I will say, biggest fight so far? Or
Definitely,
is it?
yeah, it is. It's for the interim belt, so I can't downplay and say it's not the biggest fight. It is. Aziz was the biggest because that was the last one, but this is the new goal. Yeah, it's the biggest one.
The new goal. Speak to me a little bit about Hutchinson, and I will say on record, I like what you said about the press conference. You said that you feel that you've got to do a little bit of justice for Spider. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think, like I said, there was a comment made that he made to a Spider, and people like myself and people similar to me, not in behavior, but in other ways might see that and be like, yeah, you're violating or you're taking a piss, like you shouldn't say that, and I found out and I was told and I was like, nah, you can't, it's not right basically. Not saying I'm here to tell you what's right or wrong, but it's not right. In that, what he said, that one's not right. So I brought it up in the gloves are off, and that was probably what started however he felt towards that. And when people saw the video that circulated maybe 2 months ago, I was like, cool, but maybe if you watch the gloves are off, you might understand the context a bit more. And maybe people understood it, maybe they didn't, but I don't think it was a massive thing that happened in the video that circulated. But yeah, basically something he said and I was like, no, that's wrong.
What is wrong? What is right? At the end of the day, you are going into a fight.
Yeah.
Somebody that's confident. He's quite confident in himself, as you are of yourself. Skills and abilities, experience, Olympic pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
Advantages that you've got going into this fight, Josh. Or I'm going to say, in fact, Joshua Sena Buatsi, pronounce it properly.
Advantages, the advantage that I dwell on, it's always been the same. I don't come in and ever tell you, oh, I hit harder, I'm fitter, I'm stronger. I think stuff like that, they exist, but the advantage that I really dwell on, and I've made a lot of reference to it this week when I'm interviewed, is what I read in the Bible. And that's just genuine, like if there was another source or another thing that I did, I'll say, oh, you look, this is what I do. But because it is just the Bible, I have to tell you what it is. So for me, that's the advantage that I dwell on and what I read and motivate and encourage myself.
That religious source, people find all sorts of reasons that help them push through.
Uh-huh.
Your will comes from religion. Your relationship that you've got with God. Talk to us about that and how important it is for you to give you that will when you're in there, potentially, deep waters.
Yeah, it's important to me. I mean, people have all kinds of belief and whatnot. And I have a belief in God, and it's not to say that it means I don't make mistakes or that I'm flawless, because that's the one thing about me. A lot of mistakes I made, a lot of flaws that I do got. But when it comes to giving acknowledgement from where my success or the good things about me come from, I'm going to point you towards where it is. And that's why I say to people, look, if there's any secret you want to know about where all this comes from, it's from God. Don't get me twisted, you still have to work hard. You can't ask for it and not work hard. So we've been away for weeks, months, preparing to fight. But if I'm asked, point out, where you think this might all be coming from, I've got to thank God for it, And like I said, people have different reasons why they get in the ring or what motivates them or gives them the courage to get in the ring. And for me, if it's that, I have to tell you that it's God,
But what motivates you? Yeah, we've got God, but what is when you look at your career,
I'll tell you,
what's your goal?
I'll tell you, I'll answer that, but I'll tell you motivation is also, I'm a competitor, I like competition. Boxing's a beautiful sport because two men get in the ring, man to man, and someone's got to come on top. Yes, there's draws on that, but let's just say someone usually wins. And it's the fact that there's two of you going at it. You've been away, you've prepared for months, and someone got to come out on top. I like that competition. I experienced this before boxing. There was so many fights that I had, and there's a mindset to have, like, if it happens quick, it's on site, X, Y, and Z, and you do what you have to do. But I like that competition. I like team sports, but team sports, you kind of depend on other people. So I said, all right, let me do a sport that's individual, where if I put in 100, I'm going to get 100 back. But having said that, there's an amazing team behind me. And I wouldn't start name dropping in case I forget anyone, but the people you see with me, I owe them everything, man. Yeah, and my family, my friends. So there's a lot that motivates me. And the goal changes all the time. At one point my goal was to get on the Olympic team. I got on it. Then it changed to qualify for the Olympic Games. I qualified. Then it changed to get a medal. I got one. Now I've turned pro. As you can see, the goal always changes. The goal is never the same. Currently, my goal right now is to win my next fight. I don't have any other goals. It's to win the next one. Once I achieve that, the goal will change again. So for me, a goal is always changing. But the fundamental goal that I do have is to have a knock-on effect, a good one. I've had some bad knock-on effects, but I want to have a good one. If you hear that, I've given this example, but if I'm chatting to someone and October comes up, it's nice to hear, October and I started something, and she had this effect. Because of her, I now interview people. Because of her, I'm now in a male-dominated industry. Because of her, this, that, that. Positive things like that. So that's a fundamental goal.
Having that ambition, and when you're sitting in this moment, like I said, we're hours away for you warming up in the changing room, getting ready for that knock on the door to say however long it is to walk out. When you sit in this moment now, fair enough, all of us are here, you've got a crowd around you, but when you're sitting now, what do you feel?
The scriptures, that's the reality of it. You're right, when there's people around you, you can block out everything. So as much as there's people praying for me and reading and sending me motivational stuff, I got to also process it and absorb it. So that, like you said, in my quiet time, it's deep in me, and it's something that will come up. My mind will ponder and think about it. And again, that's how I get very confident. And I say, you know what, it's time to go, it's time to fight, and I'm down with it.
Time to fight. One of the things that I always said about you, and I say this every time I see you, because when I used to watch you at home, before I had the pleasure and honour of actually being in your company, I always used to call you the surgeon. I always used to say you're technical, spiteful, doesn't waste any punches, aggressive, with your shots. That faded a little bit in my eyes, a little bit. I'm going to keep it real. It felt like it faded a little bit, but I feel that this opponent, Willie Hutchinson, has, I don't know, just lit a bit of a fire underneath you. Or is that just me looking at it selfishly? Wanting to see that with you,
No, you know what I think? Because it's the first time people have seen something like this, there's the easy assumption of saying, yeah, we're going to see an aggressive Buatsi, we're going to see this type of Buatsi, we're going to see the old spiteful Buatsi. Maybe you might do, you might not. You're gonna see a Buatsi that's gonna win. That's what I can say. And look, every fight is different. Maybe the guys that came that I was spiteful towards, they allowed it, but their style. Sorry, not that they allowed it. Their style maybe allowed it. There was a fight I had in your city, Birmingham, and I was thinking this guy's just spoiling the whole show. Like, he was just, I don't know what he was doing, but it didn't make me look good. But most importantly, October Red, we got the win. And this is what I say, to people, it's been an up and down journey, stop, start, and everything. But as I sit here, the most important thing I can still say to you is that I've had 18 fights and won 18. Don't get me twisted, yes, I want there's certain things to come earlier than they have come, but I always keep that optimistic view on things that, look, maybe I might be 40 one day and say, do you know what, it worked out how it happened exactly is what I'm happy with. Who knows? Until then, I have to take it day by day, But I'll be honest, there's definitely times where I'm like, damn, I wish I was world champion maybe at what, 28, 27, 26, 29, 30, you know, but when I'm 40, maybe I can reflect back and say, you know what, thank God, everything was perfect timing.
That shoulda, woulda, coulda, but at the same time, you maintain accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability is always a big word for
Yeah.
me because it's easy for us to point fingers
Yeah.
and say it's their fault, it's
Yeah.
that person's fault before we reflect and take it
Yeah.
back on and think, what could have I done about it? But one of the things that you said there is that at the end of the day, when I get to this age or when I get to that point in my life, maybe that's just the way that it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
It's written,
yeah, you know,
which goes back to the scriptures kind of again anyway.
yeah, and it goes back to something from the scripture that says, don't worry about tomorrow because today has enough problems of its own. So I shouldn't be stressing about the future. I got to be in the present now, October, you know, because yeah, the future, no one knows what it holds. So while I'm in the present dealing with the problems of the present, let's handle that, you know, we don't know what tomorrow holds.
Getting this win, you know, being part of Riyadh season, which is, you know, it's an amazing experience. I get it. And I feel for you. Even me standing here now, the night before you fight, I feel guilty doing that because you've been
It's
speaking
part of
to
it.
all of us continuously.
Not like this though.
Yeah, but
and you know what? Just before you said that, I have to big you up because you're not even looking at a script to ask me all these questions. It's coming just organically, and I have to rate that because it's always like that with you. So I respect that a lot.
listen, it's at the end of the day, it's a conversation. I'm interested in you and what you want to achieve, what you have achieved. You, like I said, I was watching you before I met you.
Yeah.
So it's nice to actually get a little bit of a insight to who
sure.
you are,
Yeah, for sure.
and why you are. It's not just about like you explaining. It's your why. It's your purpose.
Yeah.
We're here tomorrow, like you said. It's interim, chance of a world championship when you get through. What will that mean to you when your hand gets raised? When that, if it does get to the final bell, hands raised, Joshua Buatsi, winner.
It will mean everything. It will be a sign of, you know, like I'll be very grateful because yeah, I fight because I want to win, but there's been so much behind the scenes of people that have helped me, and it's a way of also thanking them. And for me, when I win, they win too. There's a lot of extensive work that goes on past what I speak about or past what I show. So for me, I'm like, good, I won, we keep moving. And when I win, it means that these bunch of people also win as well. So the support towards them can carry on. Yeah, so it's not just that I win and then only Buatsi wins. Nah, I don't see it like that. Yeah.
I've heard you say that because you're very family orientated, very spiritual. You know, I even heard you saying, let's meet up after because, you know, the family gets together, whatever it is, the family gets together. Do you feel like you have those, I don't know, one for a better word, that energy? I'll use energy because when you start saying spirits, people get all scared. You have that energy. You're not going into that ring on your own. You're going in with a host that's with you.
Yeah. That's mad you use that word because this week I was like, let me research what that word means. And then in the Bible I was reading and it says the God of hosts, you know, and I was thinking, what does that mean? And I just researched it. And yeah, I have that feeling, I have that backing, I have that confidence. You know, the confidence, yes, it's in the training camp that we did because you got to do the work, but it's from what I'm reading and what I'm believing in. And someone might say, right, you're just believing anything you're reading, and it's just a little bit of faith. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about how big my faith is. My faith is very little. It says if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, so I'm gonna say my faith is very, very little. But faith is believing in what you cannot see. You know,
Blind faith.
I never seen God before anything, but I have stories and situations where I'm like, that must have been God. And that's led to me believing in Him, believing in certain things, and when I read, believing in what I'm reading, you know. So I'm just literally, as we're talking, I'm just telling you about the mindset and how I operate and how things work for me. And I said in a previous interview, I'm just talking from my experiences. You know, I'm not saying this is what works for everyone or this is what every boxer does or anything. Nah, I'm just speaking about an experience that I've had. That's it. Yeah.
Symbolism. have you gone with the symbols? You know me, I love the cloth, I love
Yeah,
the
yeah.
robes, I love the significance,
Yeah.
all of that. Because to me, names mean something,
Yeah.
symbols mean something. It becomes part of you.
Yeah.
Can we expect anything like that? I'm not asking you to tell me what your outfit
Okay,
is,
yeah.
but can we expect you to be walking into the ring with those symbols with you
Yeah,
again?
yeah. The very meaningful ones. So definitely they're on my shorts and on the robe or jacket, whatever it's called. As I said to you previously, one time we sat down and I said, look, when I'm designing my kit or whatever, big shout out to Fight Label, because I'll be real with you, I just tell her the colors and she comes up with a product. But when I say certain things that I want to add and do, there's meanings behind it. So yeah, I don't just put together something or tell her to put together something and that's it. There's always a meaning behind it, and they're meaningful things to me and meaningful symbols. So yeah, I got them in my shorts.
You know, I love the symbols. I'm still waiting. You said you was going to get me something with the symbols in it, with the
As a
Ndinka
book.
symbols.
Yeah.
Still, it's all right. He's let me down, but
Nah,
it's cool. He didn't
nah.
let me down tonight, but
I'm gonna do it for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do it for sure.
I've got to ask then, light heavyweight division. I've always liked the division. It's tasty.
Yeah.
We've got Artur Beterbiev going up against Dmitry Bivol, a sister card to yours tomorrow. How do you see that fight going?
It's hard to answer, man, because I genuinely don't know. I do wish I had an answer for you, because I've been asked it all week and I'm like, guys, I don't know. I think last week I was saying Bivol wins, then this week I was saying Beterbiev. So what I'm saying is that my answers change whenever I'm asked it.
Shows it's a good fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight, and credit to both guys for putting everything on the line. We can admit that for sure.
Listen, everything on the line. You're putting everything on the line tomorrow.
As always.
We wish you the best.
Thank you.
You know me, I'm biased, so I am Team Buatsi. I
Appreciate
do want
it.
you to win.
Thank you.
And I want you to win in emphatic fashion
For
as
sure.
well.
Thank you.
So you can get your chance, well-deserved chance at the world title belt.
Thank you so much, man. And big up yourself, man. I know you waited a long time for this.
If
As
you always do this.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No,
but
don't apologise.
I had to
I'm
thank
used to
you
it
for
now.
that. Yeah, nah, thank you, man.
used
You're
to
making me sound bad.
No, good things come to those who wait. So yeah,
Sure, man. Nah, thank you so much. Thank you.
stay ready.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.